Christmas is over, and while I'm not training for anything specific at the moment, I'm still not going to let seasonal poor eating choices get a hold of my nutrition. My name is Paul Mould, and today and every day I'm here to help you lean down and muscle up, even as you age. Today's topic introduces you to my basic framework for nutrition. Nutrition is such a growing area, and there are so many different approaches out there that dialing in your nutrition can be overwhelming. So I thought you may find it helpful to have a framework for your nutritional choices. This is the framework that we use in the Movement Coaching Clinic, our 30-day nutritional support program for fast starting your leaning down and muscling up. To find out more about that program, comment below with the word movement. The starting point for my framework is that food is fuel. This means that your nutrition can support your efforts to achieve your training goals. Some goals you might have could be weight loss or disease prevention or management, as in the case of heart health, or indeed diabetes. And of course, improving your athletic performance. And there are plenty of approaches out there that address these goals. And choosing which one applies to you and is best for you can be confusing. However, what do you do if you are healthy already? Or if you are not overweight? Or if you don't really classify yourself as an athlete? What should you eat? And so this brings me to point number 2. My framework, the point number 2 is that we eat everything in moderation. This means that we balance those foods and meals that we eat because they make us feel good for the right reasons, with those foods and meals that we eat because they make us feel good but for the wrong reasons. Point number 3, though, is my exception to the everything in moderation rule. And this is that we drink water and plenty of it. Staying hydrated helps us actually eat less, which is a great way also to stick to point 2, everything in moderation. Next, make sure you are eating every 3 to 4 hours. This provides your body with the nutrients it needs at the time it needs them and keeps it functioning at an optimal level, assuming you've got your foods balanced appropriately. Point 5 is that eat foods that are as close to their living state as possible. The least processed foods that you can get. So think of meat, for example. Choose to eat a steak or a cut of meat as opposed to a processed or luncheon meat. With grains, choose to eat a whole meal, whole grain bread as opposed to a highly processed white flour variety. This helps you easily know what you are eating as far as your macronutrients are concerned, and helps you avoid consuming, say, too much fat or too many carbs, or indeed too much of the micronutrients and other things like sugars and salts, etc. Which leads me to my next point. Know your macros for your common food choices. So, for example, if you eat meat, then know how much of meat is protein versus carbohydrate and fat. Know that percentage and use that in your comparisons of the available food choices to select foods that are appropriate for your training goals at that time. Lastly, a practical tip. If you are hungry, go for the protein-rich foods. In our Western society, carbohydrates are cheap, and so they're available easily everywhere. However, carbohydrate does not satisfy our hunger for as long as either fats or proteins do. And we choose the proteins because they help our body build lean muscle. And lean muscle, this metabolically active tissue, is the engine of our metabolism and the motive force for our athletic achievements. So there's my framework for nutrition outlined for you. Begin applying it today to your food choices and know that you're on the right track for leaning down and muscling up even as you age. But if you want to get a fast start on your leaning down and muscling up goals, then comment below with the word movement to find out more about the Movement Coaching Clinic's 30-day nutritional support program.